Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we are back with more Prose Edda. Yeah. Today we're picking up with the events after Ragnorak. I think this will pretty much just about end, the book, the particular part of the book we're reading. But anyway, let's get into this. Part 52, After Ragnorak. Then Gangleri asked, "What will be after heaven and earth and the whole world are burned? All the gods will be dead, together with the Einherjar and the whole of mankind." Didn't you say earlier that each person will live in some world throughout all ages? And Third replied, "There will be at that time many good places to live. So also there will be many evil ones. It is best to be in Gimli in heaven. For those who take pleasure in good drink, plenty will be found in the hall called Brimir. It stands at the place Okonir never code. There is likewise a splendid hall standing on Nidafjord, or Dark Mountains. It is made of red gold and is called Sindri, or sparkling. In this hall, good and virtuous men will live. On Nastrandir, or corpse strands, there is a large fowl hall whose doors look to the north. It is constructed from the spines of snakes, like a house with walls woven from branches. The heads of all the snakes turn into the house, spitting venom, so that a river of poison runs through the hall, and down it must wade those who are oath breakers and murderers, as it says here. I know a hall standing far from the sun. On Corpse Strand the doors face north. Poison drips in through the smoke hole. Walls of that hall are woven from snake spines. Their oath breakers and murderers wade through heavy streams. But the worst place is in Vergelmir. There Nidhogg torments the corpses of the dead. Part 53, the High One describes the rebirth of the world. Then Gangleri asked, will there be any gods? Will any of the gods be living then? Or will there be anything of the earth or the sky? Hai said, the earth will shoot up from the sea, and it will be green and beautiful. Self-sown acres of crops will then grow. Vidar and Vali survive, as neither the flood nor Surt's flame destroyed them, and they will inhabit Itavol, the place where Asgard was earlier. To there will come Thor's sons Modi and Magni, and they will have Mjolnir with them. Next, Balder and Hod will arrive from Hel. They will all sit together and talk among themselves, remembering mysteries and speaking of what had been, of the Midgard serpent and the Fenris wolf. Then they will find in the grass the gold playing pieces which the Aesir had owned, so it is said. Vidar and Vali will live in the sanctuaries of the gods when Surt's fire goes dark. Modi and Magni will have Mjolnir at Vingnir's or Thor's end of battle. In the place called Hodnimir's Wood, 2 people will have hidden themselves from Surt's fire, called Lith or Life, and Lefrasir or Life Yearner. They have the morning dew for their food. From these will come so many descendants that the whole world will be inhabited. So it says here. Lif and Lefrasir will hide themselves in Hodmanir's Holt, the morning dew they have for food, and then from them springs mankind. There is something else that you will find amazing. The sun will have had a daughter who no less beautiful than she, and this daughter will follow the path of her mother, as it says here. One daughter is born to Alfrodid, or the sun, before Fenrir destroys her. When the gods die, this maid shall ride her mother's paths. If you know how to ask questions reaching still further into the future, then I do not know the source of your questions, because I have never heard of anyone who could tell events of the world further into the future. And may you find use in what you have learned. Part 54. Gangleri returns home to tell the tales. Next, Gangleri heard loud notes coming at him from all directions. He looked to one side, and then he looked back again. He was standing outside on a level plain where he saw neither the hall nor the fortress. He left and traveled back home to his kingdom, where he told of the events that he had seen and what he had heard. And after him, people passed these stories down from one to the other. Part 55, the epilogue to Gylfaginning. As for the Aesir, they sat down to discuss and take counsel. They recalled the stories they had told him, Gangleri. Then they gave the same names mentioned above to people and places there, so that after much time had passed, people would not doubt that all were one and the same. That is, those Aesir who had been spoken about, and the ones who now were assigned the very same names. Someone there was then called by the name Thor, and he is taken to be the old Thor of the Aesir and Thor the charioteer. To him they attributed great deeds, but Thor, or Hector, accomplished in Troy. Thus people believe that it was the Turks who told stories about Ulysses, and it is they who called him Loki, because the Turks were his worst enemy. But yeah, that's the end of the Gylfaginning, which will bring us into the Skaldskaparmal. Oof, that's a mouthful. Yeah. That will take a while. Notes. Lineages. Genealogies. There's even a third part, the language of the Skalds. Oh, that's an appendix. Appendix 1. So yeah, Skaldskaparmal. We read through that. All that's left is the appendixes and glossaries and genealogies and notes and stuff. So, but yeah, we get a good look at the ideas of Norse mythology and all that goes on. And he's like, and so names are renamed and reused so that people actually think, oh, it's attributed to this person, all these stories and great deeds. Yeah. And that ends the first half of the Prose Edda. As you can see, halfway about through with the book. So that's interesting. We should find out more once we start the Skaldskaparmal. Yeah. It's we get a few other stories here. So, looks like there were two primary sources, the Guilt Beginning and the Scald's Skaparmal. That's a mouthful to say. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end this episode here. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I appreciate y'all for watching. See you all in the next episode. Until then, later.